Well, boils and ghouls, it has been years in the making, and I mean that seriously. Finally, boils and ghouls here on the darkest hours. The Coffin Draggers. Yay! Yay! Yes, finally.
In front of a live studio audience.
Well, it's as live as we can get in these parts, anyway.
Well, I prefer dead girls.
Well, they don't say no.
They don't say no. But you still got to bring them flowers.
You say no?
No, they don't say no, and I prefer dead girls.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. I do know that. Of course, boils and ghouls, the Coffin Draggers, for the poor creeps at home who don't know who you are. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell them what the hell it is you do.
I am Gator McMurder. I try to sing. I mostly scream. And I play upright bass in the band.
Hey, Robert Frank. I play drums and make stupid jokes and background vocals, I guess you would call it.
I'm Vincent Maloof. I play guitar.
You sing a bit too.
A little bit, and he's a singer as well.
I sing a wee bit.
He sings a wee bit, he says.
I sing a wee bit.
Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Of course, you saw them perform a killer set at Ipso Facto at their amazing 25th anniversary. Of course. Since this is a historic anniversary for the shop, are you guys are Ipso aficionados? Have you been coming here for years?
Actually, we all live in Los Angeles, so since this is Orange County, we don't really frequent the shops in this area that often. So, sorry, Terry.
You are much more of a retail slut. Then.
Exactly, that's right.
Well, how was the night? How was playing? How was you sounded great.
Well, thank you. It was actually really, really fun. So much more different than like a regular gig. It was just like, I don't know, intimate, really personal, just a fun crowd. It was casual and kickback, but professional at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it was just really fun. It was just everything.
Kind of sounds like our show.
Yeah, exactly.
Very intimate.
It was great. A bunch of cool people. And it was just fun, and Terry was great. So
I do really loathe seeing shows here because it is a very different environment, and it's so small and close knit and intimate, as you say. Yes, indeed.
It was like we were all entombed together.
And don't we love it being entombed together? Right, Dad?
Yes, we do.
We're entombed with one another.
More like a cartoon.
Nothing wrong with cartoons,
And I do sing out of tune.
Way out of tune. So far out of tune, you're in tune again.
I'm in the next area code.
Tomb it may concern.
Well, since we're in Anaheim, should we go to Toontown?
We totally should go to Toontown and dig up a couple tomb wenches.
Oh,
This
yeah.
young lady wants to be part of the interview.
Hi. Hello. So, aside from playing the amazing 25th anniversary at Ipso Facto, what else is new for you ghouls?
Well, we're actually in the process of recording a new album with our wonderful new guitar player, Vincent. We have an album out with our previous guitar player, but we have a bunch of new material, a bunch of really cool songs that we enjoy playing, and we want to share them with everyone. So hopefully it'll be out by the end of the year.
Well, I know Darkest Radio needs a copy.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. You will get one.
Yes, indeed. And so the newest member knees deep in pizza over there. so what's it like being a part of these madmen? I mean, you're the only one in white, so what's
Unique experience as a kid.
All right, it's great. I was a fan of Coffin Draggers for like 7 years before they asked me to join, and it's great because they're both such like good musicians, and it's like hard to come by these days.
I'll pay you later. Okay.
that 20 pennies?
So yeah, I buy him a beer and see what happens.
No, it's a great experience just because they actually know how to play, and it's good to it helps me improve my playing by playing with people who are so good. I enjoy playing with Coffin Draggers. It's great.
I was just going to ask, do you guys enjoy that?
Yeah.
This is Robert Frank, and I approve this message.
It's one-sided. I enjoy it, but they keep trying to get rid of me.
I feel weird handling your femur.
You have a weird sense of humor.
Yeah, you know, working with Vince it's been cool. He caught on right away. When we first auditioned him, he just cranked out the songs, and me and Gator were blown away. Or should I say Gator and I? We're blown away, and
We're old enough where we can speak with Bat Brennan.
seriously, by the second practice, he had it down, and we were like, "Oh man, this is awesome," because we can play intricate things, I should say. We're pretty proud of how tight our band is, our timing, and our songwriting and stuff like that. And you know, since Vince has come along, it's, you know, it raised the bar. Like Vince said, it makes us improve as musicians. So it's been really awesome.
Well, you definitely sounded terrific. It was so good. If you ghouls haven't seen these freaks undead, you really, really need to. When you kicked into a Coffin Built for Two, it was almost right off of the album. I mean, it was, which, you know, is not hard to do, or is hard to do live, I should say, or undead, rather.
And isn't that the very first song that you recorded with us?
Yeah.
And there's a funny story about that, too.
I just showed up and they were like, "We're
Please stand by.
And then I had to interject something in a moment. Okay.
I just showed up and they said, "Hey, yeah, we're recording an EP. Come play leads on it." And I was like, "Okay." And so I tried to just do solos, and that was like weird. And we ended up just re-recording all the guitars and stuff. And this was like maybe a month.
Like the guitars on our original.
Yeah, it was probably a month into me joining the band. They just kind of were like.
Well, I was just going to say what Gator said. Gator and I we planned on releasing new Coffin Draggers material, and I played drums and guitar on it. And then I'm okay as a rhythm guitar player, but like I just can't play leads and stuff.
Better than me.
But you know, when we heard what Vince can do, we just scrapped all my tracks and had him.
Yeah, right there on the spot. He came over right on the spot. We just made him record the song, and that was that. And then we released it. And my interjection is, I am the only one that has not touched your bone yet.
I see you're avoiding it at all costs.
It's passing, but I'm going to touch it.
Ooh.
Caress that. Know that little divot right there. Whoa.
You're going to be on the show a lot.
I'm kind of uncomfortable. Should I leave you alone? No, you can leave me a bone. We'll be over here.
So, of course, Coffin Draggers, we loathe them for years. It's been about 5 years, this interview in the making. And you're only about a year old as far as the show goes. Do you have any questions for these morbid minstrels?
Yes, I do. First of all, when I heard Coffin Built for Two, I want to tell Jack when we get back to Shadowbrook that I need to enlarge my coffin, because the zombies that come and have some fun with me, we need to have 2 people in there because it rocks. What I did want to ask you is, many of our fiends and ghouls might not know where the origin of your name, Coffin Draggers, came from. I have an idea, but please enlighten us.
Want me to take the bone now?
Yeah, you can take it now.
Okay.
Sorry. You the bone.
Why is it moist?
It's been bequeathed. That's why it's moist.
Anyhow, I'm rather old.
So,
and when
this question with that statement.
when I was a young lad, we had these things called 45s that we would buy. And my family, yeah, exactly. My family often shopped at Montgomery Ward's, and I don't know how old I was, maybe 7 or 8. I had money. I went upstairs to the record section, and I bought a 45 by Bobby Boris Pickett called The Monster Mash. It was the very first album, record, whatever I ever bought with my own money. And I loved that song so much, and I always loved the line, "The Coffin Draggers were about to arrive with a vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5. Coffin Draggers always was in the back of my mind forever. I just always loved that name. I would draw it. I would draw pictures of hearses as a kid, and I'd write Coffin Draggers on it. I did all this weird, silly stuff. And, you know, my parents thought I was weird, especially since my dad's a Pentecostal preacher.
That turned out well.
Yeah. But I have driven my mom to church in my hearse before, so things did.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that was fine. But anyhow, years and years later, Bob and I had this band. We did some recordings in my studio, which is called Funeral Home Studios, by the way. Yeah, shameless plug.
Funeral Home Studio.
Funeral Home Studios. So we did some recordings, and there was this show that was happening, and I played the recordings for the guy that was putting on the show. He was like, "Oh, you guys have to play. You have to play. What's the name of your band?" And we didn't have a name, so just on a whim, I threw out Coffin Draggers, and it stuck. And that was what, 12, 13, 14 years ago, something like that. And that's how it happened.
I was 10.
Vincent was 10.
I was 200.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is obviously the oldest in the bunch.
That's right, yeah.
But dead sexy.
I thought
Very
it was
dead
Mick
sexy.
Jagger, to be honest with you.
It's the hair. It's the hair. It's a very Jagger hairstyle.
People
But I
do know how to start me up.
Hey, yo!
Well done. Well done. Yes, indeed.
But you know what? I see a red coffin and I want to paint it black.
I like it. Sounds like a new song.
I think so. Yeah.
I think we should. I think we should make this happen.
We should.
Absolutely.
Hear that new song? I see a red coffin and I want to paint it black.
And yeah, you can do vocals off key.
Oh yes, I'm trained for being off key already.
So we've got an album in the works,
Yes.
which is great. We just saw a killer Undead performance, and I'm sure the freaks at home either want the album or want to stalk you or come see you Undead. Where can they do so?
Where can they do?
Anyone? Anyone?
We have like 2 Facebook pages. There's the Coffin Draggers official, and then Coffin Draggers. CoffinDraggers.com. Smoke signals. But usually Facebook is the best way to find us. That's where the kids all find us and stuff like that. But you know, CoffinDraggers.com is cool too. We got some cool snippets of audio on there and some little treats. Yeah. So
Maybe they'll make a comeback someday.
yeah. Right. So the bone, huh?
So the microphone.
The microbone is interesting, you know. I could see the marrow.
Tomorrow?
Not today, but tomorrow.
I'm not going to worry about it until tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely.
But as far as gigs go, we don't really have a lot planned for the rest of the year. We're taking time off to finish the album, so this may be the very last show of 2014 for us right now. The show we did tonight.
And you ghouls got to see it. How honored are you?
Yeah. So, because it takes time doing an album, and time is something we don't have.
Time is something I think we're all short on.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Has anyone noticed what our guitar player's name is, though? Vincent.
Which is
fitting?
very fitting.
And I call him Vincent Priceless.
Very nice. I was going to go more of Vince Clortho, but we can go that.
More of a Latino Vicente.
Oh, nice.
How about Italian? Vincenzo.
Only Italian people can call me that.
Okay.
He's the Italian stallion.
Whoa.
Oh my. Oh my. I don't want to know how you came upon this information.
A real pony for sure.
Smoke signals, that's where it came from. Ah, yes, indeed.
Well, see, Vincent is half our age, so we have to teach him things.
No comment.
Well, speaking of teaching things, this is a segue of sorts. Your music is kind of along the psychobilly, rockabilly style of line. Is that a musical style that you've always been interested in, or?
For me personally, I've been into the whole rockabilly and psychobilly thing since the 80s. I've always enjoyed that music. My bass that I actually still play to this day, I bought in 1985. It's the exact same bass I've had since then. I love it. It's my baby. But yeah, I've always liked that, but I've always liked darker things too, and the spookier things, and I always wanted to mix things up. And you know, the psychobilly thing came along and kind of did that, but still not quite to the extent that we do it. You know, I'm really into the whole goth thing too. You know, I love the goth girls. Whew. Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And my house is decorated it looks kind of like the Haunted Mansion inside.
Nice.
You know, just the way it is. I've got little bats hanging in the corners everywhere, all kinds of cool stuff.
Much like our home, the mansion.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
The attic and the zombies and the cemetery.
We should have Better Tombs and Gardens come see all of us or something.
Absolutely. We could totally make the
Be
cover.
on the photo
So,
of the cover of that.
Oh, cool. See, but the thing is, though, you know, we kind of took that music and blended the darker things with it, and kind of, you know, a lot of people call us gothabilly, which is, you know, sure, that works too.
I'll take it.
Some people call us crap. You know? I mean, there are a lot of people in the rockabilly and psychobilly scene that don't like us because we are darker and spookier and we don't sing about hot rods and flames and dice.
Right.
You know, we sing about dead girls and things we do with dead girls. So there are a lot of people in that scene that don't like us. But, you know, we're us, we do what we do, we enjoy doing what we do, and we're not going to change. Now I'm getting mad. But see, that's why we enjoy playing things like this, like Ipso Facto. We've played Bar Sinister several times. We played for DJ Zion at one of her clubs once, and that was really, really cool because different crowd. We played Club Funeral. You know, we like do things like that because it's a different crowd. Sometimes it's people that may not have seen a band with an upright bass before, and it's new to them. You know, a lot of people are into the stuff anyhow, but yeah, there's a lot of people at these clubs that have never seen it, and I enjoy that, playing a club and having some total rivet head coming up afterwards to me and be like, man, that was incredible. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen a bass used like that. I've never heard that kind of music. I love it. It's great. You know, when normally they listen to VNV Nation. Right. I mean, I love that. I love opening people's minds to something different and new.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why I love having the darker element too, because we can slip into those kind of areas and those kind of clubs. You know, I mean, you know.
Pretty much undetected and,
yeah,
and
exactly.
naked if you feel like it.
Well, we won't go there yet, but there are pictures.
Facebook.com.
But the music is based on the rockabilly and psychobilly thing because of the upright bass. But then we all are into so many different kinds of music. Like Bob is a huge Rammstein fan. I mean, I love him too, but he's been to a bunch of their concerts. And Vincent.
Good shows. Good shows.
Vincent is an amazing blues guitarist. He's an amazing metal guitarist. He's into all kinds of music. So we all bring our own elements to it. So it's hard to describe what we really are. But yeah, back to the original point, based on rockabilly and psychobilly.
Well, and that is something that I really like about your music is it does have a kind of a rockabilly, psychobilly overtone, but it's all the undertones that you have going on that really separate you guys from, and the humor too.
We call them Undertaker tones.
Oh, he's out punning me, Boils and Ghouls. I don't know about this.
But see, that's cool, and it's cool when people pick up on that and hear that part of what we do. So it's great.
It's much more of a whereas, you know, more hardcore psychobilly bands, I suppose, you can see in a slasher flick, you know, where you guys are a little bit more subtler, more in a gothic film or a Hammer film. I think you'd fit. Dracula, 1972 AD would be a good one.
Cool. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like, you know, I'm not into the whole slasher blood and guts horror thing. I'm into more of the romantic vampire type thing and the romantic side of goth. I mean, it's, you know, look at the way it dressed. You know, it's like I have a certain thing that I really enjoy, really like, and that's the thing too. People freak out when they come over to my house and hear what I listen to, because I don't even really listen to a lot of psychobilly. I listen to very mellow gothic music. And classical. KOSC is my favorite radio station.
Hey, you gotta loathe classical music and the blues and jazz and definitely.
Yeah. But I don't even know where we were going with this.
I forgot. It's okay. There's a train station down there.
Okay,
I think
cool.
we'll find it down there.
Maybe they have a crazy train.
Well, that's the only good train to ride, anyway. Well, on this incredibly sour note, what is final words from you ghouls to the creeps at home? Final words. Anyway.
Dearly beloved.
Hey, you know what? I just want to thank all the fans. We get some pretty cool emails from all across the world, if that makes sense, all over the world. It's really cool. People, you know, in other countries and stuff, just, you know, digging the band, complimenting the band, wanting merchandise. It's interesting because if Gator and I, you know, and Vince, we were recording something, it's just what we do, and next thing you know, a guy in Russia is digging it, it's pretty freaking awesome. That's why I do it. So, I just like to thank the fans, and
especially that one guy in Russia.
One guy in Russia that I never sent your CD. I'm sorry, Boris. What do you got to say there, kid? Hey. Oh, hey. Look who we have here. Saved by the bell. Vince didn't want to say anything anyway. After a show, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing I like more than a nice cold Sierra Nevada.
Good things about it.
That's right.
After I indulge in a McRib.
We just want to say that Vincent wants a McRib sponsorship by McDonald's. So if anyone could work on that,
Bob, hear that out there? Bob played tonight and didn't feel well after he ate because he
what?
A McRib.
I never eat McDonald's. I had McDonald's. It's the last time I ate McDonald's. Where is this interview going?
I don't know. We are
To the cemetery.
on the way to the
My
cemetery.
nickname.
Cemetery?
Cemetery. Because it's Terri. Cemetery.
Clever.
Cemetery.
Of course.
In my former life, yes.
I went on your tour when I was in London. I went to the pub, had the chocolate, bought the t-shirt.
It's tasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that your own recipe, Dad?
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
I'm lying. I've never had it.
I know.
He has another career aside from slashing women apart. He also does plastic surgery, and he goes by the name Jack the Nipper.
Oh, so he makes more business for himself. They're slashed, and then he puts them back together.
Yes.
They might be dead, but
Digging up customers wherever he can.
So slap today, gone tomorrow.
So what do you have to say for yourself?
well, 25 years in business. I'm very excited. You've been my friend for almost that long.
Just about.
Yeah.
Just about. Of course, Boils and Ghouls, none other than Terri, owner of Ipso Facto, which you can check out online at ipso-facto.com for all you creeps who can't make it down to the Southern California area. Yes, indeed. So
It's an online world.
it is an online world, which has its benefits.
Yeah.
But you
Feel.
can't play online and get the same feeling as you get from a crowd like that.
That's true.
But there is porn.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can play with yourself while you watch porn. And get a good feeling.
And there's cat pictures.
Cat pictures and porn. Wait. Never mind.
Kitty porn.
Is that the show for the darkest crack?
That's the darkest hours after hours. That's
We deal with zombie porn.
yeah. He heads that department up.
Yeah, we should write some music for that.
That's why I need the two-person coffin.
So after 25 years and the wonderfulness, basically the cornerstone of the goth scene here in Southern California, at least in Orange County, and a big influence
The
on
tombstone of Orange
tombstone.
County's
Yes,
goth
indeed. Of course, a huge influence on yours, Ghoulie, Boils and Ghouls. So what's it like? Are you still enjoying it as much as you always have?
Well, I've had to be creative. I mean, these economic times are really challenging, so I've had to make more individual crafty things like accessories and that kind of thing. And one of my girls also does it, so we have individual things now, and we buy more from Europe than we used to. And we have to get creative. We put in a POS system finally, so we went electronic.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so now we're kind of in the 21st century, but it's been a challenge. I mean, a lot has changed over the years.
Yeah,
we have the same tiles on the floor.
And I hope you never get rid of them.
But yeah, we did an upgrade last year to all the walls and the fixtures. So
Those fixtures are cool.
thank you. I designed them. I had them made.
I was looking at them while I was playing. I was actually glancing around, just whoa. Very
I
cool.
have some extra ones. I should give you one.
They would look good in my house.
Yeah, definitely a makeover, a change since I've been here last.
Right.
Anyway,
You missed last year, so it was done last year. So.
I know the Boils and Ghouls have let me know that we missed last year's. Yes, thank you. you.
But yeah, so, I mean, the scene is still going strong. There's a lot of new elements involved in it, and I always meet new people, and there's always people that don't know about my store, even though we've been there so long. So I've been vending a lot at clubs.
Nice.
And so people are buying stuff in the club, so it helps us out a lot. But yeah, we just have to think smarter.
Well, I'm sure it's interesting over the years watching the fashion trends change.
That's true.
Now steampunk is a big popular thing, and
it was death rock before that, and I was like kind of missing the fancy goth look. Everybody was wearing ripped fishnets and t-shirts, and I was like, oh, I miss the fancy like long dresses and fancy stuff, and of course the guys' vests and all that. Now it's all back. I'm like, yay! Oh, you probably always dress like that, huh? Yeah, me too. It was just hard to.
I like the dresses.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I like what's under the dress.
Well, I do have good gams.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's interesting, but there's a lot of great bands that have supported us and played at these events, and a lot of good customers, and we'll just keep moving forward.
Well, I hope there's at least 25, if not many more years to come.
Oh yeah, that's the plan. Yeah. Of course, it'll be your children working for me, right? At that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So when we're in our 70s, we should play their 50th anniversary.
There we go.
When you're in your 70s, I'll be in my 20s.
When I'm in my 70s, I shall be in my casket.
Oh.
You're always in your casket.
Well, wherever it rocks.
Just get a casket.
Slap it.
If the coffin's knocking, don't come rocking.
Ipso is haunted. Did we talk about this?
No, we didn't talk
Yeah,
about
I had a paranormal team come out and investigate, and they found nothing. But
Congratulations.
we got one of my employees got tickled on the ankle when he was reaching for something, and nobody was around him. And I've had like little bits of bubble wrap thrown in my head when I'm working on my computer, and there's nothing. Like strange things. My band recorded there, and something appeared on the blank side of the tape. It was like a voice, and it said, "Yahweh is not the one you love." I think it was really muffly, but that's what I interpreted it as. So,
Well, that's quite a message.
yeah. And then the lights turn themselves on and off.
Do you know how old the building is?
Yeah, it's 1919.
All right, well, so then it could very well be.
Yeah, this is a very old building. Yeah, so stuff lives in the brick and whatnot. There's residual hauntings and actual entities, and we think it's probably residual.
That would make sense.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Don't know how the bubble wrap fits in, though.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe it's both. But yeah, I love that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, and we do too. Absolutely.
Even ghosts like to pop the bubbles.
Yeah, there you go. They can't resist.
That's true. I mean, what's better than a night alone with a big bottle of whatever you like and a roll of bubble wrap?
Good. There you go.
They were actually looking for bubbly, but they got the wrong thing.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Well, boils and ghouls, we are having far too much fun. If you're ever in the Southern California area, make sure you come to Fullerton, go to Ipso Facto, get out to see these ghouls undead as soon as inhumanly possible. What was it? CoffinDraggers.com is one of the main ones. Ipso-Facto.com if you can't make it out here. Yes, indeed. And do you have anything to wrap this up?
Coffin Draggers and Ipso Facto rock.
A match made in hell.
Yes.
No bones about it.
Har, 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 har.
Hardy har har.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And since we're all here together, I want to thank Terri for having us play. This was great. It was really fun. It's a completely different experience from the regular shows we play. Like I told you earlier, it was just really fun. I don't know, it's just great. It was really good for us. It gave us a nice little boost.
Well, thank you for asking. I was like complaining on Facebook one day. I'm like, I need a band for my event. And he's like, well, what about my band? I'm like, are you in a band?
Who are you?
Your name on Facebook.
Oh, my name isn't.
Yeah,
It's backwards.
So it worked out really well.
Yeah, Facebook wouldn't let me have my name, so I spelled it backwards and they accepted it. Way to go, Facebook.
Well done, Facebook.
Yes. But unfortunately, no one knows it's me, since it's spelled backwards.
Yeah, I didn't know you. So I was like, someone added me to Red Room. It said like Gator in the picture.
I do have to say one thing. Walking into seeing Ipso Facto and coming into the event, listening to all the music that I do on Darkest Radio Undead, I love the heavy bass. I love the rocking sound.
The thwomp.
The doo-wop. And the thing is that you're a very tight band.
Well, thank you.
And that's something to know, that it's just very enjoyable to listen to.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And part of that is because I'm sitting between them.
Yeah. And we're both.
There's a bone right
Yes.
there.
And it's a tight fit.
Very tight fit. If you'd like to send money, please send to the number on below. Thank you.
But I would also like to thank both of you for having us. And like you said, it's been 5 years that we've been trying to get together for an interview.
But this has been our displeasure, absolutely.
Oh, well, good. And I love the fact that you keep flashing your bone in front of my face.
I've got no shame. I just put it out in public.
Oh, this one?
I've got a couple others in the car. If you wanna-
No bones about it.
But you better shut off the camera now. It's going to get dirty.
Oh, there's a camera?
Oops. Uh-oh.